Steam Next Fest 2026 has just started, and if you're unaware of what this is, it is an event that Steam holds every now and then which showcases a bunch of demos from upcoming games. I did a video on this last year where I played 50 demos for the one video. This year I wanted to be a little less insane, so I picked 10 demos to talk about that I played during the first day of this event, some of which are games off of my wishlist, a couple that I got asked to cover via email, and then some that I just kind of picked out at random off the store. I'll talk about what's good, what's bad, rate each one out of 10 for how much I liked it. Starting with Far Far West. Far Far West is what you get when you cross Helldivers with Gunfire Reborn. You know, it's got the idea behind Helldivers where you drop down into a big open map and you've got to do a whole bunch of objectives within the map and do a main objective and extract. But that with the feeling of the gunplay from Gunfire Reborn. I would say the weapons feel a bit punchier in this than Gunfire Reborn. What I like is that the maps are pretty big and open and have a lot of side content and objectives to do and things to find, and that there doesn't seem to be any time limit to do them, which is something I kind of dislike about Helldivers, which is the massive, time constraints that you get given when you go into a mission. And yeah, all the side content to do is pretty fun and a bit different. The gunplay and feels very tight and well designed. The music is very great. I really like the music in this game. This is a game that I definitely think I will be trying to convince some friends to play with me later. I played all of these games today solo. If I'm gonna try and convince any of my friends to try out any of the games that I've played today, it's gonna be this one. I thought it was very good. It's a very good kind of budget Helldivers type experience. The sci-fi western fantasy art style vibes to the game are very good. It seems like every run you can find Joker cards, which pretty much are perks that only last for that single run. As far as I could tell, there wasn't any limit to how many you could pick up, which is fun. I don't have much bad to say about it. I had some funky AI moments, like bits where I could just kind of juke the AI but just jumping on something tall. But other than that, there's not that much bad to say about the game. I think maybe the board mechanics might need to be changed up a bit. Have them periodically come after you even while you're not near any objectives or anything like that. But maybe I do need to play this on high difficulty and see if that actually changes. As for what I played of this, I will be coming back to play more soon. I'll give this demo an 8 out of 10. Fuck. Next up is Sledding Game. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep, great. I've seen this one pop up on Instagram Reels and stuff a bit recently. All this game pretty much is a social hangout game where you go around and just hang out. You can sled around in a little toboggan. You can gamba. It's pretty much just a social hangout spot with, sledding in it. Meant to be a fun game to just kind of chill with friends and kind of play around in the sandbox environment. I didn't play this with friends. I played this by myself, so I'm definitely missing a big element from the game. Sledding mechanics are, they're okay. They're fine for what it is. There's quite a bit to do around the game. It isn't just, running around sledding. You can play little mini games. You can just bore the map together. It's meant to be chill. It almost feels like a sandbox map from Gary's mod or something, a map that someone made with a bunch of mini games in it that, you and your friends will fuck around it with for a few hours. I think it's a game that might just be, a bit of fun with friends for a little while, but I don't think you're going to get much out of it unless the developer adds just a whole bunch of different things to do around the map. Absolutely filling the map with just things to find, Easter eggs, mini games that are only accessible from one point of the map. Really hone in on the exploring the map with your friends type deal. There's still a bunch of unknowns when it comes to this game. If this game's $5, then I can see it kind of doing well. It's low effort. It's meant to be just a little bit of fun. It's not meant to be much of anything of substance, I guess. But yeah, I feel like if the developer just adds just a whole, a whole bunch of stuff to go around and do, and really hone in on going around and adventuring with your friends in a low stakes environment, I think that's fun. And I think this can be fun. I would give this maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. I think it does what it sets out to do. It's just not that appealing to me personally. What the hell is this? That bing bong? Bing bong. What the fuck? Next up, we have Red Tape Rampage. I already hate this game. Was one that got emailed to me, so I was like, okay, I'll try it and see what it's like. Yeah, look, I did not like Red Tape Rampage. It is pretty much, from what I could tell, just an idle game. You like hire people in a corporate workplace and yeah, number go up. There is a layoff button where you can lay off your entire staff in one foul swoop. I wish I got to the point where I could do this because that was the only part of the game that it felt like it could have been like interesting or fun. What's interesting is that all of the employees in the game have randomized names and randomized interests, and a lot of them make absolutely no fucking sense. Henry likes candles. Avoids lucky bottles. What the fuck is a lucky bottle? Trains ducks under the table. What the fuck? Online soft bookmarks. Oh my god. Yeah, look, it is a number go up game. I played about 10 minutes of it and then quit. There's some nice smooth jazz as a soundtrack. I like that. I like that you can see all your people that you're hiring on the screen. There wasn't much substance to take out of this game. Maybe there is later, but I only played 10 minutes of it, but 10 minutes in, I was bored. I was bored shitless. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. I think this is the game it wants to be, but I definitely did not like it. Ethan is a psychopath. Speedrunners 2, King of Speed. Yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw that Speedrunners 2 was a part of Next Fest. I am a very big fan of the first game, and I was very surprised to find out that I did not like this really at all. Speedrunners 2 is basically speedrunners with a bit of glow up in graphics and a bit of a downgrade in the feel and the physics of the game. It is very strange that this game feels a bit slower and clunkier than the original game, and there is a very big problem with visual clarity, and you can probably see on the screen here, like, two characters have the same color outline, and it very much fucks with visual clarity with trying to keep an eye on your character. I tried matchmaking this game and I couldn't find a game. I don't know if everyone's already written this game off or not. It seems like they may have. There is a solo versus bots game mode, so I tried that. Felt like there's a delay on input, which is very, very strange. Jumping had like a half second, anything had a half second wind up to do. It did not feel like there was in the original game. The first map of the game is a carbon copy remake of the first map from the first game, which is very strange. Music, some new compositions in there, but there is a lot of reused compositions from the first game, which, I mean, it's nice to hear some of this music again, but really, what are you doing? Look, it's still speedrunners at its heart, which is still, a decent game. It's just a worse version of it made 13 years later, which makes me wonder why they bothered, or, I don't think that this game was in production for 13 years. That'd be silly. I think that this is a bit lazy. That's what I'm going to call this. This game feels lazy. I love the look of the backgrounds. I think the glow up in graphics is pretty good for the most part, but look at this sudden death screen. Look how obnoxious this is. It is too distracting, and it distracts away from the intense gameplay where you're meant to be focusing on this one area. I can't focus with how annoying this looks. So yeah, this is a bit of a disappointment. So, this game has been on my wish list ever since it's been announced. It's probably going off my wish list now. I don't have high hopes. Unless this game I don't know when this game's meant to come out, but it needs a lot more work. This is pretty disappointing, considering how long ago the first game came out. And how simple the first game is, and this game feels like it's not even trying to do anything different or interesting. It is just a glow up in graphics. So I'm giving Speedrunners 2 King of Speed a 3 out of 10.
Oh, fuck. No.
Where'd it go? Oh shit! No! Next up, we have Dench Attack. I previewed this in, I think, my Summer Games Fest, or maybe one of my Gamescom videos last year. This game is about a train that does a whole bunch of wacky shit. I expected this game to be a bit wacky and wild. What I didn't expect it to be was Thumper. Like, if anyone remembers Thumper from, oh god, that game must have come out like 10, 15 years ago now. It's basically Thumper where you can just do tricks and jumps as a train, but it's got the soul of Thumper in it, which I really love that game, so I actually didn't mind this. It starts pretty weak though. When you're learning about the game and the mechanics, it doesn't do a bad job of explaining how the game works or anything. I think it's fine. But I didn't find myself enjoying this game up until the last level of the demo, where the craziness actually did ramp up, like, to an extreme amount. And I was like, this is actually really creative. This is really fun. And I kind of did really want to play more. And that's when the demo cut off, and I was like, oh, for real? It is a game where you just go along like a kind of almost a set path. You can do tricks and jumps and stuff, and each map will have set objectives to do. The easiest way to explain it is that it is Thumper on crack. Music's fun, art style's fun, voice acting in the game, and because it is very anime inspired, you get kind of anime dub vibes from this. It is what it is. It's not the worst, but it's not great. Art style's fun. The game, pretty simple and easy to pick up. It seems like the full game will have a lot of crazy shit in it, which I think I will enjoy. I thought this was a decent demo. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So next up we have Witchspire, which is an open world survival crafting game. This is one that I picked off randomly off the Steam store page and didn't know anything about it until I booted up the game. The way this game tries to set itself apart is that it is about witches. And as a witch, you get a familiar that comes around with you and goes with you wherever you go. It is a little bit like Dragon Wilds in the fact that there are a bunch of skills that seem like they level up along with you, where you get more proficiency with them, like the more you do things like woodcutting and spell casting, and depending on what kind of weapon you have, also you can go up in proficiency and stuff, which is cool. At the end of the day though, it is an open world survival game, and that really isn't my cup of tea. I mean, I don't hate these kinds of games. It's just like, if I'm playing a demo for a game, I just kind of want to see what the game's about. And the game is interesting in the ways that it tries to set itself apart and tries to do its own thing. But at the end of the day, it's still that hardwired survival crafting stuff, like, in its veins, where you're picking up sticks so you can craft an axe so you can cut wood, except the axe is a spell that you cast, which cuts down trees. Like, it's doing something interesting, but at the same time, I don't get the feeling that I'm doing anything other than, that 10 to 20 hour loop of collecting resources so I can build things, and I can build things so I can collect resources better, so I can, it's that loop. I felt the loop straight away, and I was like, okay, I know what this is going to be. So I just tried to, get a handle on the witchy things that this game had to show me, and that's fine. I thought this was fine. This could be a good game to play with friends. I don't mind it. I think the build mechanics are actually really cool. When you build, you go into this kind of corporeal form and you can place things however you want. That's really cool. That's new and interesting. What the? Whoa! Can I just... Makes building so much easier, and I like the idea behind that. So yeah, while I didn't play very much of this game because I was like, oh god, if I really wanted to get a real feel for this game, then I'm going to have to be playing it for hours upon hours. At that time, we'll just be doing the survival crafting stuff. No thank you. I'm good. So what I played of it, I liked it, but it is what it is. This one, I will give a 6.5 out of 10 as well. I enjoyed it for what it was. I probably would need friends to play it with or something to actually keep interested. Kill that son of a bitch. Oh, I can also... Where are they going? The fuck? What is going? So next up we have Paperhead, which is this weird little phenomenon that seems to be going on where boomer shooters are having a resurgence, but now everything has to have some kind of gimmick. There's the Mickey Mouse one coming out soon, Detective PI or whatever it's called. It's a bit like that, except you're shooting cardboard people and everyone's made out of paper and stuff. So the art style of this game is very good, the music is good, the gameplay is very solid. This game is kind of exactly what I thought it was going to be. It didn't really surprise me at any point. I enjoyed what I played, but after I played the demo, I was like, I don't think I would buy the full game of this. And it's not because of anything the game does wrong, not the game for me. Which is fine, you know, that's what demos are meant to do. Like, you're meant to get a feel of the game and see if you want to buy it afterwards. I don't think I would buy it, but I think that this is definitely a quality product. There's a lot of heart put into this game. It's very nice. It's nice to play, it's not a nice game. It's a pretty fucking horrific game, if I'm being honest. Tight controls, good music, good, interesting art style. Maybe the environments could have done with a bit more work to make it feel a bit more cardboardy, because a lot of it does feel like it isn't made out of cardboard. Not really that big of a deal, but it feels like a good representation of how the game would play, just normally. There's a lot to like about this game, I just don't think it's quite for me. As a demo, and how good it is, I think it's probably like a 7. Like, I get a good idea of what the game is. I got that idea pretty early on, like within 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, this is what the game's gonna be. Oh boy, here we go. John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos. I love shaders. Shaders are so good. I love just waiting for shaders. Such a great part of modern gaming. This is a game that hasn't really had much of a media push behind it since it got announced, which is very strange because it seems like there's a big team behind this. You know, this is done by Focus and Saber Interactive, which are, you know, the same people who did Space Marine. Why did I pre-order the game? I haven't played it yet from this demo. I can pre-order it Grey Edition or Color Edition. Lovely. So what this game pretty much is Back 4 Blood. You know, you could say, you know, Left 4 Dead, it's meant to be like Left 4 Dead, but it's not. Back 4 Blood was trying to be Left 4 Dead. This feels like it's trying to be its own thing, but it's just Back 4 Blood. Oh god, is this... this is gonna be Back 4 Blood. This feels very Back 4 Blood. Which, I mean, if this game comes out and it's like, you know, $40 or something, you know, fair play to it, then, you know, that's... I think I'd be okay paying that for this game. Look, there's a lot to like, there's a lot to not like. Starting with liking, I think the gunplay itself is pretty solid. I think the guns feel really good, they feel punchy. It feels like they do damage. The car mechanic in the game is pretty good. The missions seem to be a bit more open-ended after the tutorial anyway. The first mission you do is a little bit more open-ended, which is nice. It's not a linear set of corridors. You get an open worldy type feel to it, even though it is still a bit linear, but there's like a lot of things to do on the map and stuff, which is cool. What I don't like about it, first of all, the characters don't shut the fuck up. I don't want to call it Forspoken dialogue, but it's like, it is that everyone's gonna be the funny guy, everyone's gonna have the last say, the funny... It's annoying. It's just like, if characters didn't talk, I think I would like this game about 10-20% better than I do. But because they do talk, and because the writing is so fucking lame, it takes it down so many notches. Also, Horde encounters feel very strange. There are special infected and encounters and stuff, but Hordes seem to just kind of come out of nowhere and they always feel very awkward to deal with. It's not like you're under pressure, it's just like these enemies are coming from strange directions, and then like the Horde starts and ends when you don't think they will. Something about the pacing of the game is just a little bit strange. Playing this by myself again, I was playing with AI teammates, bot teammates, and these guys fucking suck. They need to be kind of a lot more on the ball. Entering and exiting your car, you have to wait like for your teammates to get into the car with you before you take off. Your teammates aren't going to drive the car. You're always going to be the one driving the car. You can't just tell teammates to do an objective. You stay in the car, like save time. No, you've got to get out of the car, go over to the objective, get back in the car and wait for all your teammates to get in the car before you take off. I like that there is bogging mechanics and that the car driving feels very nice. Like, it feels like it has some weight to it. I mean, when you drive over a bunch of zombies, they kind of fold like origami, but it feels like there's something to the car mechanics. I think the bogging mechanic might be a bit more linear than what it looks like. It feels like if you just touch this like one area, your car will get bogged and you have to winch yourself out. Like, the physics feel good, but it just does feel like it's a bit more canned rather than, you know, natural in the way that it works. Thing is, I have a lot bad to say about this game, but I also didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I just don't see a world where this game does well. So yeah, this is coming out in 3 weeks, give or take. This game is not ready to come out in 3 weeks. There is just a little bit too much wrong with it. It needs a lot of polishing. maybe not polishing, maybe a bit of scrubbing, sandpaper. Just smooth over the writing, the dialogue. It's probably too late to change this.
This is a shit burger. Monsters are
What the fuck's a shit burger?
Knows how to think.
And if you're not telling the truth, you'll be eating an actual shit burger.
Stop saying shit burger. It is such a terrible word. You can tell these people don't swear on a daily basis because they come up with shit like this. A lot of interact buttons, like opening, like doing objectives, trying to get into the right spot to do it feels like a bit of a chore, which is definitely going to be a pain on like higher difficulties if in a rush to try and do something. Found a few times where I was like, okay, why am I not pressing on this thing? What's going on? And then I was like, oh, I had to move like half a meter to the right and press the button again. Just dumb shit like that. It seems like there's a decent progression system to this. There are classes and characters. Again, the characters are duds. The classes seem to be a bit more involved, but it's just like when I was looking over the abilities of which one to like choose, there's one person that shoots out giant fucking balls of energy that blow shit up, and then the rest seem very lame in comparison. Who's gonna play that one when the cool one does the cool things and everyone else is like stuck with a lame utility? Like, I just want to blow shit up. It looks fucking sick. Enemy impact with bullets is really nice. Because, like I said, there is a lot to like about this game, and it definitely feels like that they've taken a bit from the Space Marine engine. Like, you know, there are a lot of background things going on. There's a big set piece at the beginning of the game where you're driving down this road with a whole bunch of zombies on your right and left. And the FPS is pretty good for the most part. I don't want to say well optimized because I was dropping below 60 quite often, but at least it felt like the game was earning the FPS drop. You know what I mean? I mean, no, not many games should be dropping below 60 FPS, and especially with a rig like mine. But I like it when at least, you know, it feels like the game is earning the right to do it, and when there's a lot of zombies and then there's a lot of stuff on screen, and it feels like the game should be running at 10 FPS, but it's not, then I generally like it. You know, obviously there's definitely some more work to be done on, you know, performance and making the games run optimized, but yeah, I don't see a market where this game will do well unless it is a very budget priced game. There's a lot to like, but it is a bit of a hot mess. So I'm feeling a 6 on this one. Despite all the things that I like, there's just too many things wrong with the game. I'm feeling a bit of a 6. You know, it would just take like one of these to go out of alignment and then there goes your fucking tire. What does that help? What does this help? This is Enter the Chronosphere. You what? This is a roguelike game where everything in the game is turn-based, from your movement to your shooting to your actions to projectiles flying through the sky and stuff. Everything is turn-based. I really wanted to love this game. I really did. I think it is a well thought of and a well executed idea, design-wise. But the main problem I find with this game is like actually playing the game. Mechanics, solid. The ideas behind it, solid. Actually playing the game is a bit of a chore. It is pretty tedious. I didn't hate anything about this game. I think it is all done extremely well. Art style, fantastic. Music is okay. It's hit or miss. Gameplay idea, extremely interesting, unique. I just hated actually playing it. Progression feels great. Like, seriously, everything in this game works the way it's meant to, and is done to a very competent degree, but I just can't say that I really enjoyed playing it that much. I don't know if I needed to give it a bit more of a go or what, but it just felt like a bit of a chore to play through the game, turn by turn. I love the idea, I really do. I think it is insanely creative, and I think the team who made this is competent. They've got a good idea on their hands. It's not for me. For me, it's a 5 out of 10. But I also think that, you know, there are a bunch of people out there that will really like this game. What the fuck was that? Huh? Why did my fucking character get one hit? What the fuck was that? Was I on low health? Okay. Fuck you then. The dungeon experience is a first-person something.
Dungeon experience. A guided fantasy tour which promises you the greatest loot of them all. Financial freedom.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, this game was definitely made in Victoria with like the rising prices of fucking everything. It's just a comedy game, I guess is the best way to put it. I reckon a lot of people will play this game and find it pretty funny, but I think if I talk too much about it, I will spoil all of the jokes, which is why you would play it for yourself. It is about a person who goes to a escape room fantasy experience type thing, being led by a crab dungeon master guy. It is also an Australian game. I was kind of waiting to see if the other shoe would drop during this demo, because I don't know if this is like a one-trick pony. You get what I mean? The joke is that it is a rundown kind of like fantasy experience, so this crab guy's trying to do everything himself, and everything's made out of cardboard, it's all very run down. I kind of wanted to see if, the other shoe would drop, something would change, or if this is the one joke that these guys have. I mean, the humor is pretty eccentric, it's very out there, it's very fucking crook, which I love. Like, the general to general, like, humor is pretty great. But, I will kind of want to see if, there is more to this game than what, you kind of see from this demo. And maybe they don't want to spoil what's coming. If there is something coming that'll, change everything up, it's the game keeping its cards close to the chest. Which, if it is, then I applaud it for doing and having the restraint to do. But at the same time, it's kind of like that thing is like, I kind of want to know if there's more to this game than just like the, cheaply built fantasy experience that this game is like, the dungeon experience. Anywho, loved it. 8 out of 10. We're off, man. Why is there human furniture here? Am I in Succession? Table man. Hello.
Hey, you really don't need to speak to me. Consider me a table. Just part of the room. That's very nice of you, but that's not a winner's mindset. It won't impress my upline manager. I'd actually prefer it if you put more on there. Maybe stand on it yourself if you're feeling generous. Oh yes! I am here to hold your load upon my cursed back.
Okay, no. And that's the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched this far, then please leave a like and subscribe if you are new. If there are any demos you think that I should check out, then leave a comment below. I might take a look at some more later on the week. It depends on how good I think Resident Evil Requiem ends up being. I'm really looking forward to trying that game out. So yeah, if the game's shit, then I'll probably look at some more demos. If not, then I'll probably get stuck into that. Who knows? Thanks again to my YouTube members for their continued support, and I will see you all soon.